Okay, taking a look here, a couple new girls here. So we have seat 3 and 4. We're going to focus on seat 3 in this video. So seat 3, take a look here at the full, not full speed, but just kind of going through here. So overall looks pretty solid. I don't have too many things. I mean, there's again, everyone can do some improvement. We do these videos for all the open men as well, open and master men. So in all of these videos, we try to point out little things that everyone can improve on, and whether you've heard them or not, hopefully they can help at the end of the day. So I see that you got some tape on your paddle. Hopefully that helps you with where you grab on the blade or on the shaft itself. So that's good. I do like the tape there. At least then you're consistent with it. Okay, so now we've seen some strokes here. Let's take a look at what the frame by frame looks like. So first part is this reach out. This is the furthest point that you're reaching out to, right? Maybe over here. Okay. So one thing that I think you could probably do is when we're reaching out, this top arm should be completely straight, or at least slightly bent, kind of like seat 4 here. So you want to make sure that, okay, both arms are pretty much straight at the very front of the stroke. So let's take a look at, I'll open up this guy here. And I'm using these guys as examples here, so hopefully they don't mind. So taking a look at seat 3 over here, let's get him on the left side. Okay, so let's pull him in. Right, come on. Okay, so top arm is pretty much straight when he's fully reached out. Let's take a look at what your top arm looks like. So not bad. So top arm can definitely be straightened out a little bit, and so the way that you get additional reach, again, these guys here, they're about 6 feet tall, so the reach is going to be significantly farther than what you girls have. But what you can do is, you see how his bottom shoulder is really pushed forward. See how seat 4, bottom shoulder is really pushed forward. So what you have to do is try to push that shoulder forward and use your hips, get your hips engaged, and get a lot of the weight onto your front leg. So your left leg right now should have a lot of weight on it. So that is one thing that I would like to point out on the stroke itself. Really good power here, but what's happening is, because that first part is cut short, okay? So this is your furthest reach out here. Taking a look at the next frame, your paddle is fully submerged here, okay? So what that means is that your paddle is fully submerged when it's already in a negative angle. So what we want to try to do is get the paddle fully submerged more up in front, up here, okay? So rather than fully submerged in the back. Let me close this up here. So actually, let's use these guys here as an example. So again, is fully reached out up in front here, and then what he'll do is he is fully submerged here. Okay, so see how this top arm is straight, bottom arm is straight. He's got a lot of weight. I mean, you can imagine, look how far up in front he is. There's a ton of weight. He's got probably 70 to 80% of his weight on his front left leg, right? So that's what we want to try to do, is get a lot more weight on that leg, so you can get a lot more power and a lot more twist in the front of your stroke. You're gonna notice that there's gonna be so much more power once you start getting your legs and your hips engaged and twisting your body a lot more. So that's one thing. So again, like we said, your paddle is fully submerged here, and so what's happening is, now once you're pulling, you're basically, I mean, the paddle is in the negative. It's not a bad thing, okay? So a fallacy that is taught to us from our, from a long time, is that once your paddle is backwards like this, you're pulling the canoe down. Well, you're still pulling it forward, so I'm pretty kind of against that. The only thing is that you want to try to get as much forward as possible, getting this line here as forward as possible, so that way you maximize that positive angle rather than being here and then basically coming out at the end here. So this is your two angles here. So you got this one over here, and then the one over here. So this is your angle here. That's the length of your stroke in the water. So again, we want to try to move this forward, and then that way this line here will be about there. So you have more of a positive angle versus mostly negative. So I'll erase all of these, get rid of those. And coming through, I would say a lot of it is using your legs. Got to get your legs more involved and getting a little bit more twist. That stroke wasn't too bad, but still a lot of it is in the back. Want to get a little bit more in the front, getting that top arm straighter and using your body, using your hips and twisting a lot more. So again, taking a look at these guys here. So taking a look at the guy on C3, lots of, there we go. So see how he's twisting his body and hinging at the same time. And looking through, top arm is straight the entire time, bottom arm straight the entire time, and then using a lot of legs and a lot of twist here. So let's look at his right side. Okay, right side here. So take a look at his right leg again. So this right leg right here, and see how much movement he's got in that leg. So he's pushing, leaning down. So right here, leaning down on it. And right now he's got a ton of weight loaded on that right leg. And then he pushes down, pushing off of that leg and using a lot of his hips and body to pull the paddle back. So let me close this guy here. Save that. And let's take a look at your right side here. So coming through right here. So this triangle, as we talked about in another one of the girls' videos here. So triangle here, want to try to get it as open as possible so you can look through this window. So you see how she's kind of actually, she's literally looking out that window to the side. If you can open this up a little bit, get your bottom shoulder pushed forward, top shoulder pushed back. And so that way we can open it up a little bit more like this. So you have more of an open triangle so you can look through that window. So I always just say, keep looking through the window. With wahinis, it's really important to use as much of your body as possible because you don't have the same strength as some of those guys who are, 6'2", 200 pounds. You have to use as much body as possible in order to get the canoe to move as quickly as you can. So getting that triangle open a little bit more and then pushing through. Good mechanics though. It's not bad. I would say, again, let's take a look at your leg. So that right leg, not much movement, right? So again, taking a look at your leg. Yeah, get a little bit more weight on that leg. You want to have about 60 to 70% of your weight loaded up onto that leg. And then that way you can use a lot more of that power. And it'll allow you to get a lot more reach. Oops. So right here, load up on that leg so you can lean forward a lot more. I would say that would be the one thing. Work on that twist, getting that paddle reached out as far as possible. Let's take a look at this change. And yeah, right there. That's where you're fully submerged. So again, Same thing with the other girls. That first stroke, really important. Fully submerged here. Right there. Yeah. So looks good. Slow it down. Yeah. Other than that, point out anything that you might see yourself, and well, hopefully this was helpful. And yeah, if I don't know, one of these days maybe I can come down and help you guys out if I have time. Um, but yeah, looks good. Good job.